And away we go!
We are on the road here at the National Finals Rodeo. I love it. I love it because I have Ashley with me. And I noticed, Ashley, I forgot to put our display names on there. There we go.
Woohoo, love it.
Yes, I love that your view is way better than mine. You have a great view there at Resorts World for what is all going on here in Las Vegas.
Yes, absolutely. It is. The excitement is definitely brewing. I arrived today and the cowboy hats in Las Vegas are the seas of cowboy hats are starting to grow. But I'll tell you what I'm most excited about, other than Cowboys and Cowgirls taking over Las Vegas, is Rodeo Vegas and Pro Fantasy Rodeo, because of the fact that we are either the place to be if you are, excited about getting involved with the Western way of life, or if you want to get some skin in the game and win right along with the pros.
Yes. And I want you to tell me a little bit about the Pro Fantasy Rodeo, because I think to some people, if you've never done, like I've never done fantasy football, and I know there's a lot of people that do that stuff, but this is a whole new element to it. If you like rodeo, if you like to be part of the national finals and you're not able to be here, or you are here, but you're only here for a couple days, this is a great way. And you've got some deadlines that are coming up real quick too.
Most definitely. So this is the hottest time of the year for Pro Fantasy Rodeo. Tongue twister. I've said it so many times that I can hardly even say it anymore, but right? I'm getting there. But this is the thing. And like I said, deadlines, but the deadlines should definitely be here to stress y'all out, get some urgency, because you have got to get your Pro Fantasy Rodeo teams for the Breakaway Fantasy. So those entries close today, December 5th. Okay.
Yes.
PM Pacific Central Time. I'm looking at the clock. I'm looking at the time because my laptop is still on Mountain Time. That said, it's a really easy game. It's pick 5. Okay. All you do is pick 5.
Let's take a look here. Let's take a look here quick. Like, is that in here in your fan magazine when you go to profantasyrodeo.com/fan magazine? Is that in here where they can see the breakaway roping?
Yes, it is. And it's actually at the towards the back of the magazine. I would say closer, I think after pages 65 or so.
Oh, look at what I just turned into. 64 and 65.
Perfect. So, okay, just a little bit more here. So we've got 2 different, there she is.
There we go.
That is the beautiful entry form. So we've got an entry form for our big game fantasy, which of course we'll get into in a couple minutes, but breakaway fantasy, let's zero in on this. So we have a $17,000 payout this year. $10,000 goes to the number 1 winner overall. And then we're also paying every single round. So all 10 rounds of the NFBR, we are paying fantasy places. And it's really easy to play. All you have to do is pick 5 of the breakaway ropers that you think are going to win. And then you'll have some tiebreakers in there, but it's really easy. It's only $24.95 to pay, only $25 to for the potential to win up to $10,000 is a pretty good deal for me. And along with that, you get to play with the pros. And breakaway fantasy is just as new as the mainstream showcase that it's experienced in the PRCA, WPRA in general. So our first game started in 2020, and we are just in full support of these women. We admire their abilities, and we are here to help to elevate the game for them to take it to the same level of what the classic events in rodeo typically experience here in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Well, okay. So this one's due today, and for basically $25, you can possibly win $17,000 on this one.
That's right. Yep, that is correct. So just a few hours to go to get those fantasy picks in. But all you got to do is head to profantasyrodeo.com and head to the breakaway game and get entered. It takes 5 seconds. And the other thing you got to do whenever you're checking out that entry form, whether it's online or in our digital fan magazine, is you have to read the breakaway fantasy winner from 2022, their story, because it's hilarious. They only picked they picked Taylor Munsell as their number 1 spot for their team, and they guessed on the rest of them. And they won. They guessed on 4 of their Breakaway Fantasy team members and only picked 1, and they won. So you can literally go in there and guess, and you might have a shot to win.
Yeah, exactly. So now tell me about the next one that's coming up that it will be due. Maybe tell me about either the big one or let's go for the daily. Your choice.
Okay. Let's kick it off with NFR Big Game Fantasy.
Okay.
So this is what started it all 20 years ago. I would say, I think around 65 of the Fan Magazine. Wild guess here, somewhere around there. Ooh, just right after. Okay, let's see.
Before bull riding.
After bull riding, we're almost there. Perfect.
All right.
This is it, and this is pages. It's a little bit small on the screen.
It's a little bit small. It is pages 64 and 65. Hey, look at you going, man. You have looked through this magazine.
That was a wild guess. It's almost like I spent an entire month putting this together. But honestly, it was a guess. So everybody, it is pages 64 and 65. You've got your cash and prizes. It lists your payout for all 10 rounds as well as the overall. And then you can also find an entry form. So don't let Fantasy Rodeo intimidate you. It's simple, just like Breakaway. But instead of picking 5 Breakaway ropers, all you're going to do is you're going to go in and you're going to pick who you think is going to make the most money out of the entire 10 days in each of the events. So you've got 8 events. You might be wondering, okay, what are those 8 events? We have Breakaway Fantasy. You have to pick a team roping header and a team roping healer. So keep that in mind when you're building your teams. But what I want to point out here is that it's our 20th anniversary of Pro Fantasy Rodeo. So we are going in with a bang because $1 million is on the table. So if you pick, it's amazing. If you pick all of the average winners for your team, all of the NFR average champions, you win $1 million.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
It's crazy. We are so excited about it. And not only that, but we have the biggest payout in the all history of Pro Fantasy Rodeo and the biggest, the baddest, the best grand prize rig of all time. That thing is gorgeous. It's got a beautiful CM truck bed on the back of it, pulling a loaded Bloomer trainer trailer. And this is something, it'll leave your mouth watering just by looking at it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want a truck and trailer like that, especially with a flatbed? My goodness.
Seriously. And all of that, and it's only $99.95 to play. And your team is in for all 10 rounds. And beyond that, you can opt into some prize challenges. We've got a high roller prize challenge right now that you can win $10,000 on. And those are smaller pots that you're competing against. So, if you're willing to take a risk and get in the game, it is so worth it.
Yeah. Well, and I love that you have in here. So people that don't maybe know who's all competing or anything, I love getting back here into the bull riders. You have all of those top 15 of every event that is in there, and you have a little synopsis of them and what they've done in the past, and the barrel racers in here and who was last year and all of the different things. Plus, I do have to say, I have to pop in here and say some of these other cool things that are going on. We're going to talk about those in just a minute, but I love that you guys put all the information in here so people know what's going on. And even this right here, I'm going to get back to that in a minute. But tell me a little bit, being able to have these ones, does this make it a little bit easier for people to figure out who they're going to put on their team?
Yes, 100%. And that's the point of our fan magazine, is providing educational content for our Pro Fantasy Rodeo players. So whether you've been playing for all 20 years or you just went to your first rodeo last week, you can read through these bios, you can read the stats and get a good idea of who you want to put on your team. So whether you're weighing that by, who's had the most NFR qualifications, who's a world champ last year, or who's a rookie that's really getting in there and has a great chance of winning this year, is it can help you, because you want to go in there, and if you're not guessing, like some lucky people who can and win apparently, then you want to be able to have an educated background and understand what you're looking at. And along with that, we have an expert picks portion, and I can't remember the exact page for that, but we've got experts, for example, Joe Beaver, who is an absolute legend in the timed event realm. We've got oh my, we've just got all, you got to get in there. You got to look at it. You got to read it. Tilden Hooper does an amazing job of offering up some of his incredible knowledge on the rough stock events. And that's what we love about it, is that not only can you go in and develop your own ideas about how you want to build your team based off of those bios and those statistics, but you can take a look and see like, okay, who are those people who have lived, breathed, and competed inside the yellow walls of the Thomas and Mack? What do they have to say?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and just flipping here to some of these barrel racers, I remember talking to some of these gals over the years, and they will tell you some of their horses love the Thomas and Mack. They love the noise. They love all the excitement of it. And some of them, not so much. It takes them a couple days to warm up to it. You've got that information in here. And how cool is that you kind of get a leg up on about these riders, these contestants, these athletes that you have the chance to, look at, win some money on, and be in the NFR right along with them and cheer them on.
Exactly. And that's the point of Pro Fantasy Rodeo. We want to offer our fans a new way to engage with the sport. You don't have to be horseback inside the rodeo to win, to cheer, and to have something to cheer for. And that's what also is a great part about it. So we've got leagues. So if you really want to get in there and get some bragging rights with some friends, then we highly recommend getting a league between you and your buddies. And of course, the best one wins, but that's the point, is to have something to cheer for and to really feel like you have a connection to these athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And, just knowing about them when you see, when they're about to nod their head and go in the arena and say like, or nod their head, open the chute and get ready to ride a bucking horse, bucking bull, rope a calf, wrestle a steer, who you're cheering for. You can get a little bit louder, and it's just fun to be like, oh my gosh, he's on my team, or
Right.
oh, so-and-so missed tonight, I don't know about him on my team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beauty of daily fantasy. So
Okay.
Big Game Fantasy entries close on December 7th. And with that game, you can win the million, the grand prize rig, high roller prize, get some league action in there, opt into all the prize challenges that you want to. But let's say that you're a little bit nervous, you're not quite sure about your fantasy skills yet, or maybe you missed a deadline, which don't do that. Write it on your hand right now. Tape it on your forehead, get my team, make sure you do that. Call your mom, tell her to remind you at 6 p.m.
Right.
Before entries close. But daily fantasy, it's cheap. It's really cheap to play. It's easy. You can play every single day. And, if you've noticed that one of your bull riders is injured, or, I don't know, maybe so-and-so's horse isn't doing quite as well as you'd anticipated, you can have some flexibility with your daily teams. And that's another huge way to win. And that's what we love about it, is just providing more ways to win for our fantasy players. So if you want to get in on that daily fantasy action, then play every day. If you don't want to commit to one team, that's okay. Then dive in, and it's cheaper, and get your toes wet. Play.
Yeah.
And
definitely. And all of this is here at Pro Fantasy. And we've got this scrolling down here. I'm sure you've seen it been going through profantasyrodeo.com/fan magazine. All of the things are there for this magazine, but everything that you need to know is at profantasyrodeo.com. We wanted to hop on here and have Ashley tell you a little bit more in depth about this. If you have questions, that type of thing. Ashley, if people sit here and go, oh, okay, she knows about this, but what does she know about rodeo? You have been in rodeo for a long time.
That is true. So I am a fanatic of rodeo, actually a first generation cowgirl, but I found myself as Miss Rodeo Colorado 2022. So I've been living, eating, breathing this rodeo world, and I can't get enough of it. And that's what the core of my passion is developed within, is just making sure that the sport is more accessible to the everyday person. And that is why I'm so passionate about Pro Fantasy Rodeo, and especially these games during the NFR, because it's just time that we get our sport to the level of mainstream sports. Everybody is so hyped about their fantasy football. And what I love about rodeo also is the fact that men and women are on the same playing field. And that's exactly how it is with fantasy. We want more women to get involved and find ways to really beat out the guys. We've had the individual who won our challenger this year. It was a couple, and it was just so fun talking to them and their different ways of how they develop their teams. But something I almost forgot to mention that I wanted to touch on let's say you're a brand new player in the pro fantasy realm, and you're not even sure if you want to spend some money. You can get practiced up and still have a chance to win with Rodeo Picks. And you can play that for free every night of the National Finals Rodeo. You can access it on the profantasyrodeo.com website, or just go to rodeopicks.com, and it's simple. All you have to do is pick your favorite to win in each event, and you can win $10,000 if you pick all the favorites. So Rodeo Picks play every single night. The picks are open throughout the entire performances, and that's just a fun little game that we thought we'd add in there and just give our fans another opportunity to play and have some fun.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and talking about playing and having some fun, we just talked Resorts World. You guys are going to have some really cool stuff with Pro Fantasy at Resorts World at the convention center. You got some really neat stuff that's going on, including, of course, concerts.
Most definitely. So Pro Fantasy Rodeo shares a 20th anniversary with Rodeo Vegas. And if you want to read all about Rodeo Vegas, I'm pretty sure between pages 2 and 5 in our fan magazine. Oh, and also there's some more. Oh, these are some good pages. Yep, we'll talk about these ones. Kind of in the middle. Okay, we've got so many things to talk about, everyone.
I know, I know.
I'm just so excited. I can't get enough of it. So Rodeo Vegas is sharing its 20th anniversary of Pro Fantasy Rodeo, and we are at Resorts World for the first time this year. It's amazing. It's 10 nights of free star-studded entertainment. We've got Justin Moore coming in on Friday, Treaty Oak Revival, William Clark Green, and Tanner Esther. I mean, the list goes on. Chase Beckham, Corey Kent. You got to go to rodeovegas.com and check out the full lineup if you'd like, but it's free. And it's our first time at Resorts World, so you better believe we're going in with a bang. So you got to get in there. You got to come check it out. Get here at 8 o'clock. Doors open at 8, and we want to make sure that you can get in. So show up, bring all your friends, be ready to have a dang good time. It's in the event center at Resorts World, and catch up with us on the Rodeo Vegas Instagram and Facebook. We'll be posting updates, recaps there. And same with Pro Fantasy Rodeo. Those Facebook and Instagram socials are where you can find updates on that. But
fantastic.
We've got Rodeo Vegas night experience, and Rodeo Vegas has been termed 24/10. So we're going 24 hours during the 10 days of the National Finals Rodeo, but we need some morning action. So we, for the first time this year, I mean, who doesn't love a Bloody Mary? And
is that where we get the chicken in on this? Because I'm like, I keep on looking at this and I'm going, there's a chicken.
Yes.
I love
yes.
this ad.
Is the chicken. And it was actually inspired by the Hangover movie, the chicken in the hotel room, the day they wake up and they're like,
okay,
oh my gosh, what happens? Which a lot of people, they're going to experience. And so that's why we added rehab. It's the detox before the retox. So Rodeo Vegas rehab this year, it's brand new. We're going to have IV stations. There's going to be massage therapists. There's going to be hairstylists, makeup artists. I mean, Bloody Mary bars. Gosh, there's so much you can do there. Oh my gosh, NFR replay. So if you want, while your wife is shopping, you can come and hang out with us, get a little bit, prepped up for the next day. We're inviting all of the contestants as well in case they need a little bit of IV fuel, just to keep the moisture in this dry Las Vegas air. But
welcome to the desert.
Yes. Rehab is 9 to 12 every single day, same place as Rodeo Vegas in the Resorts World Event Center.
Awesome. And if people have questions, anything like that, you guys have phone numbers to be able to contact. You have people to be able to chat with. Plus, if you're here on location, you can find you guys at the convention center or Resorts World, depending on where you guys are at for any of the questions that people have on this, correct?
Absolutely. Yes. If you have questions about anything Pro Fantasy Rodeo related, reach out to us either on our contact form if you're on the website, or info@profantasyrodeo.com. Send us a DM on Facebook or Instagram. We are watching out for everything. We want to make sure everybody is included. And then Rodeo Vegas, same type of thing. Reach out to us, DM us, send us an email. Head to rodeovegas.com, because also you want to make sure that you can get your Blue Sky 20th anniversary edition of the Rodeo Vegas jackets. So we're selling those at Cowboy Christmas. You can take it's called the boring tunnel. It's like the Tesla tunnel here from, I always think boring tunnel. I'm like, is it that boring? It can't be. It's Vegas.
It's kind of fun, you know?
Right? It's gotta be cool.
Right.
So you can take that over to Cowboy Christmas after you go to Rodeo Vegas Rehab and get your all your Rodeo Vegas merch needs covered. We're also selling them here at Resorts World and online. And this jacket is beautiful. We actually gift them to every single NFR contestant. And so they'll be rocking those. And we were actually just noticing, it was awesome. We saw a Polaris ad and Stetson was wearing his Rodeo Vegas jacket from, I can't remember what year it was in, but I was like, oh my gosh, check that out. So our contestants, they love them.
They are coveted. That is the one thing that you will see. It does not matter how hot it is in Vegas. Everybody is wearing those jackets. Like they still wear them. Like that's part of their outfit. So
yeah. It's beauty is pain. Rodeo Vegas jackets are sweat and heat, but you do it for the brand.
And it's worth it. I mean, I tell you, that blue is absolutely gorgeous. I love that color for this year. And Ashley, I love that you took the time out to talk to us about this today and what's all going on and what opportunities are for people at home or here at Las Vegas during the National Finals Rodeo to get in on some of this rodeo action with Pro Fantasy Rodeo. And it's just going to be such a great time. We are at the start of the marathon of the national finals. And it's going to be a great time. And this is a great way to get in on that.
Absolutely. Yes. Get engaged, go all in. Again, whether you're from home or if you're here with us in Vegas for the National Finals Rodeo, either come see us or check out the action on all the social media, but most definitely get those fantasy teams and have fun. Let's rodeo.
Let's rodeo. We will see you down the road.
Awesome.
That was another On the Road exclusive with Britt Bailey.
Now that's what I call country. You guys are so much fun.